I'm gonna switch for the iPhone 7 Plus for 24 hours. Let's get started.
So, it's quite early. I will need to leave now because I will be riding my bike, but waking up this early on a Sunday, it's almost a punishment. It's, I think, 8:30 a.m., so yeah. For me, for a Sunday, it's not easy. But let's go ride my bike, and then we will start the day with the iPhone 7 Plus. So, just got home. It's now like 10 minutes to 1 and I'm pretty exhausted. The workout lasted like for 3 hours and a half. Pretty taxing, but again, the bike ride is always fun. As you saw on the clip, I rode for about 43 kilometers. Nice workout, burned some calories, and it's quite fun to be on the mountains and the hills. Mountain biking is always fun. And now with the iPhone 7 Plus, this is going to be a full day with it. I already switched the SIM and I'm super ready to get used to this phone. This is a 2016 phone, and it was the first time that Apple ditched the headphone jack, so I'm quite excited to go back to the iPhone 7 Plus. I never used the iPhone 7 Plus actually. My iPhone 7 was the 4.7-inch sized model. This is the 5.3 or 5.4, so I'm excited to actually test out this form factor. I never used an iPhone Plus model, never. I went from the iPhone 7 to the iPhone 8, and then to the iPhone 12 Pro, and then to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Never used the 16:9 Plus sized model. So I'm excited for that. No further ado, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Let's get this vlog started. So I've been on the sofa for a while now using the iPhone 7 Plus, using Instagram and YouTube and some social media, and it has behaving really well, like no issue. Again, the iPhone 7, this boy right here, the iPhone 7 Plus, the iPhone 7, they run iOS 15.8. So it's a pretty recent version of iOS. Again, this is a very recent iPhone. It runs one of the most recent iOS updates. And so everything is just really fluid. You have the widgets, you have the complications, everything is here. And so again, it is no actual challenge to use the iPhone 7 Plus. The only big issue would be the battery life. Again, I'll be using it for like half an hour and 5% is gone. I think that this phone will have no issue. Today, the day started a bit earlier in the day, but because I was mountain biking for the whole morning, this will be more of a half a day with the iPhone 7 Plus until tonight, because again, I'm not using my phone a bunch. Today is Sunday, so it's a day to enjoy with family, not that much social media, not that much work. So again, this is not quite of a challenge, but it's an interesting day because I want to see how good still the iPhone 7 Plus can be in 2024. And of course, how good does this 16:9 form factor work on a plus-sized phone.
Just like I was telling you, today is a Sunday, so the perfect day to enjoy time with the family. The iPhone 7 that I have is the iPhone 7 Plus in matte black. This was an incredible color for the iPhone 7. But let's take a walk and put these cameras to the test, shall we? The photos on the iPhone 7 don't look that bad. Again, this has HDR and it features two cameras, the normal main shooter and the telephoto. The telephoto is actually a very refreshing camera, gives you different perspectives and it looks really good. As for the video, it's not even close when compared to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Take a look. Whoa, just look at those photos. They just look incredible. The iPhone 7 did a great job controlling the light and exposing for HDR. Amazing pictures. Do not forget, this is an 8-year-old iPhone, and this was not an easy picture to take. Again, the lighting conditions were very beautiful. It gave this very distinct look to the photos. This iPhone looks incredible. It has this iPhone 7 design, which I loved. The first iPhone to remove the headphone jack, the dual camera system on the back, also the first time on an iPhone, and of course, the display. This is a 5.3-inch LCD display with Retina. Again, not the best, not even close to the most recent OLED displays, is only 60Hz, but it's big enough, it's 16:9, and it actually works very well. Outside, as you can see, it's a bit dim because of the peak brightness is not that high, but it's usable. Time to go home. What an amazing day, super fun, and of course with the iPhone 7 Plus. It's always great to enjoy time with the family, take some photos, and of course make memories. But time to go home and finishing testing out the iPhone 7 in 2024. Let's go. It's now around 7 PM and we have about 40% of battery, so not that bad. But be reminded that I only started the day at around 1 PM using the iPhone 7 Plus. So yeah, this is not like 7-8 hours of screen on time. It's not. It's about 1 hour, an hour and a half, maximum 2 hours, and half of the battery life has gone. But that's something that you gotta think about. Half of the day, 50%, not bad. Maybe by this rhythm, I will need to charge the phone by about 8 p.m. So for an 8-year-old iPhone, that's not that bad. Again, crazy to think about. As you can probably tell, it's pretty dark outside, and yeah, now I'm going to test out the iPhone 7 in the dark, because I think that this iPhone problem in terms of camera is going to be on a lower light setting. Again, this iPhone is about 8 o'clock and it has about 50% of battery, more exactly I would say 46%. I don't know if it's possible to see, but 46% of battery. Again, not bad. Remember that I started the day with the iPhone again at around midday because of the mountain biking workout. So I've only been using this iPhone for about now 8 hours, and so I don't think it's pretty significant to say that this battery is really good, but I don't think it is not. If I was using this iPhone from the 9 a.m. or 8 a.m, it would be dead by now. But again, listening to music, taking some photos, some videos, testing out everything, Instagram, YouTube, I think it's doing pretty fine. Now, this is nighttime. Again, this whole video and whole vlog has been shot on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which I do believe is just insane for video recording. But again, you can probably tell that the iPhone 7, the next clips won't be as good. That's life. That's the iPhone 7 again. This is the iPhone 15 Pro Max recording on ProRes on the Blackmagic camera app. So let's take some photos now. Let's see how they look. And yeah, tell me on the comments below what you think about the iPhone 7 Plus. For me, pretty usable in 2024. This is on a park outside here in my city, and you can see there's some lights, but right there on the flowers, or right there, it's pretty dark. And as you can tell by the pictures, you can see a lot of noise. There's some lights in this, as you can see, and yeah, I can also zoom in using the telephoto, crop in on those things, and boom. But again, some noise on the phones. As for the video, this is the iPhone 7 against the iPhone 15 Pro Max in the night. As you can tell, there's a lot of differences. There's a big difference between the noise and the quality. It's just ridiculous. Again, the iPhone 15 Pro Max camera is much better. It has a wider field of view and of course a lot less noisy. But again, this is the iPhone 15 Pro Max, this is the iPhone 7. It's almost double the generation, so it's normal. I would say it's not that bad on the iPhone 7. Be reminded that the iPhone 7, this one right here, does not have night mode. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus did not have night mode. The iPhone 8 did not have night mode. Night mode was only first introduced with the iPhone 11 Pro. And so this phone in the night, well, it's not the best, I would say, but in 2024 is barely usable, I would say. If you don't like taking nighttime shots, which most people don't actually care, in lower light conditions, so in not the best lighting conditions, the iPhone 7 can get by. Again, in good lighting, as you saw today, it was not that bad. It was actually a pretty okay camera for most people, but in lower light conditions, there's where the iPhone 7 small sensor enters. Again, I don't know how many megapixels this iPhone have. I will put it on the screen right now, but if it's not 12 megapixels, it doesn't really matter. The camera outside, especially the video, is pretty noisy. As for the photos, you can get by. Again, no night mode on the iPhone 7. Again, and I'm going to take this opportunity now that I'm going to walk outside a bit to talk about my experience overall with the iPhone 7 in terms of the last 8 hours. It has been pretty okay in terms of cellular network. The only thing that I'd say that I noticed a lot was 5G. I know that 5G is not the biggest thing out there. And I know that most of you think 5G is a scam. At least you should. But here's the thing. When they first started installing all the 5G network towers, they throttled the 4G towers. So the 4G now is pretty terrible in terms of connection, one, which is pretty big. Again, there are not a lot of 4G towers outside now. And so when you want to use your phone, the cellular network, so the amount of data that you receive, the amount of bars that you have on your phone is not always the best. On good conditions, 3 bars. Bad conditions, 1-2 bars. So it's not very strong, it's not very powerful, and you can notice the difference between the 5G phone, like the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and the iPhone 7 Plus. But if you don't really care about that, again, that shouldn't be a big issue. but it's kind of fun looking back to it and kind of seeing how things were 7 years ago and how things are right now. Again, this iPhone came out in 2016, so it's about 7 years and a half from 2024. So yeah, it's kind of normal that it's getting a pretty bit slow. I don't really mind. As for the smoothness, the fluidness of using iOS, pretty okay, no issues. It still runs iOS 15 really well, can use Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, no issues. Social media runs super fine. The camera won't be that good for social media, but if you just browse on it, just watch YouTube videos, there will be no issues. As for the speakers, they were pretty good at the time. They are not the best anymore, let's just say that. They are a bit tinny, they are not that full, and I would say there's room for improvement on the iPhone 7. In 2016, amazing speakers. Now, in 2024, you can definitely tell the difference between the iPhone 15 Pro Max speakers, 14 Pro Max speakers, the newest iPhones, and the iPhone 7. So, this is the iPhone 7 Plus, video and audio quality using a gimbal, of course. Let me know in the comments below how it looks. This is a nighttime video. Again, it's not the best, but is it noisy? Is it that bad? Or is it usable? Let me know in the comments down below. This field of view is a bit tighter than the iPhone 15 Pro Max, so I have to hold the camera a bit far away to try to mimic the other cameras, the iPhone 15 Pro Max 24mm look. I don't know if it's that bad. Let me know in the comments down below how you think it looks, the iPhone 7 Plus at night. So I'm now going home. Yeah, just spent the weekend at my father's place, hang out with family as usual during the weekends, but time to go home. University next week, quite ready. It's a bit late, 11 o'clock. Still got a 45-minute trip by car, but I talk to you when I get there. Totally forgot to mention that the iPhone 7 actually features CarPlay. So yeah, this piece right here, if I connect it to my car, there's CarPlay. Again, pretty cool. Just connect it via the lightning cable to my car and that's it. So yeah, no issues here. So, I've just gotten home and put on some more comfortable clothes. And yes, that was the day with the iPhone 7 Plus. Pretty interesting. I was not expecting that the iPhone 7 Plus would perform this well. This is still a very, very usable iPhone in 2024. So, if you have an iPhone 7 Plus, an iPhone 8 Plus, and you still like the form factor, don't switch. This is a very interesting iPhone experience. This is unique in 2024. This is not like the iPhone 15 Pro Max, nor like the plus-sized iPhones in 2024. It is not. The iPhone 7 Plus gives you a different feeling. This is a 16:9 display, and so makes it pretty interesting to use, when in 2024 our displays are all 2:1. And then of course, because it's a 5.4-inch display, it's pretty huge, and that does something that normally an iPhone does not do. And that's why this display is so attractive, because it's a 16:9 5.4-inch display. And
it gives you content without black bars. That's why this screen is so appealing to me. Again, I can be watching YouTube videos, I can be watching movies that are 16 by 9 without needing to have any type of black bars. That's insane. Instagram stories, anything that has black bars, normally on your iPhones because they are recorded on 16 by 9 content, and then trying to actually see it on a 2 by 1 display on current iPhones, this 16 by 9 iPhone 7 Plus, insane. This display is truly good. It's an LCD display, 5.3 for 5.4 inches. It's good enough. And yeah, the colors are rich. This is an LCD display. It's not like an OLED display, but it's pretty good. It's pretty bright. Again, I can tell that I have a studio light on and still it's pretty bright. Outside, it's not as bright as it needs to be. Under direct sunlight, it's not the best. And if you go to the beach, you will have some issues trying to see your display under direct sunlight. But that's the iPhone 7 Plus. It's like 8 years old now, since 2016. Insane, insane. The iPhone 7 Plus also had amazing speakers at the time. In 2024, they are not the best. They are not bad, they are not the best. They are a bit teeny, and you notice the differences between the left speaker and the right speaker, because this is the speaker for your phone calls, and this is the good speaker. You notice the difference between the left channel and the right channel, while on the most current iPhones, they are very, very well matched. But again, these are not bad speakers, especially on the 7 Plus. I also have the iPhone 7, but on the 7 Plus, the speakers are a bit louder and better. And yeah, the battery life. The battery life here is not bad. It's not bad at all. I used this iPhone and I think I got, I'm not sure, but I think I got around 2 hours, 3 hours of screen on time. Let me just check. I had about 2 hours of screen on time, but listen to this. Most of my screen on time usage was personal hotspot. 20% of my activity was on personal hotspot. That's a lot for an 8-year-old phone. 70% on camera, 14% on Instagram, 11% on photos, 10% on X, Twitter, 8% on Safari, and 6% on YouTube, and 5% on music. So it was not a light day for the iPhone 7 Plus. And it lasted me through at least half the day. I got home like a few hours ago, and it was about 6%, but it charged on the car, so, you know, it could have gone pretty wrong. But on my car rides, because I didn't have the lightning cable to connect my iPhone to my car, I could not use CarPlay, but it does work. I've tested it, but in that specific run a few minutes ago, I did not have the CarPlay available, and so I had to connect this phone via personal hotspot to my iPhone 15 Pro Max, my camera for the day, connect it to my car via USB-C, turn on CarPlay to put some music on, and this was my personal hotspot for about 40 minutes. Insane on battery power. Again, I think you won't have any issues if you are not a very professional user, if you are not a power user. This battery will probably last you about 75% of the day, if it's in a good condition. Currently, this iPhone 7 Plus battery, I think it's 82%, not that bad. This phone is around 8 years old now, so 82%, pretty nice. So yeah, I think that this phone summarizes a very, very good choice in 2024 if you want a very cheap iPhone that actually performs somewhat good. If you want to use your iPhone 7 Plus in 2024, be reminded that it's not supported on the most recent iOS update, iOS 17. It's there on iOS 15.8. But this is a very stable version of iOS, no bugs, no issues. It still has the home screen widget, as you can see. It still has the app library, as you can see. Still features one of the most recent versions of iOS. So no issues there. Still has one of the most intelligent features on the Photos app. Can recognize things. Oh, forgot to talk about the cameras. Again, like I told you throughout the whole vlog, this is a dual camera system. The telephoto, it's good. I think it serves more for the portrait photography, which was the first time that we saw it on an iPhone, on the iPhone 7 Plus. This was the first time Apple introduced the portrait photography. It's not bad, it's not the best. And yeah, the main shooter, I think the photos look different. I wouldn't say bad, but they look different. They don't look like they have tons of processing. No, they're actually pretty okay. This was also the second time that the iPhone could record 4K video, and I'm currently recording 4K video, and it's not that bad. Again, this is an iPhone that is cheap. You can find it for around $150, $200. If you can find it with a good battery health, maybe it's usable in 2024, but I wouldn't use it as my main phone. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about the iPhone 7 Plus. This was a very, very fun day, and yeah, I just love making these, and you guys love watching them. So thank you guys for watching, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, see you next time. Bye bye.